New Mexico has several. Fort Union, which is up in the northeast corner of New Mexico, that was originally built in the 1850s to guard the Santa Fe Trail, the southern branch of the Santa Fe Trail that cuts across the Cimarron Desert and into New Mexico. That's why they built Fort Union, and that was very active in the during the Indian War period. Fort Sumner on the Pecos River, right by the town of Fort Sumner, that's still there, and that's a state historic site. Fort Stanton is in the Lincoln, near the Lincoln National Forest, near the town of Lincoln. That played a very important role in the Lincoln County War that involved people like Billy the Kid and those folks. In fact, the 9th Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers from Fort Stanton were the ones that put down the Lincoln County War. So let's see, we have Fort Seldon, which is near Las Cruces, New Mexico, and that was a very important fort that was established to guard that southern route through New Mexico and Arizona. And if you know, a lot of these forts are either on major roads or major rivers, and there's a good reason for that. Fort Bayard near Silver City, New Mexico. Again, that was a major transportation route, but Fort Bayard, New Mexico. That's still around. You can visit that one. It's I believe it's a VA center. It's a VA home now. Fort Wingate, which is in northwestern New Mexico. That one is still a historic site. I don't remember if it has a museum there or anything, but you can certainly go visit the site of Fort Wingate. And Fort Marcy, which was probably the first fort established in New Mexico. That was at Santa Fe. Santa Fe is kind of like San Antonio in a sense that it's a military outpost. It was originally a military outpost and trading center. Fort Marcy is there right up on the hill above Santa Fe, and the fort's no longer there, but you can go see the site of it, and there are some historical markers that tell you what it was all about. So there are lots of historic forts in New Mexico that by and large still exist. The Victoria Wars going on in the early 1880s, 1880, 81 in New Mexico, basically were taken care of by the 10th Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers, who chased them until they ran across the border. And the Mexican army took over and chased them until they tracked them down. They killed Victoria. Geronimo was operating quite a bit in eastern Arizona and western New Mexico. The Chiricahua Apaches operated in that area down in what you all call the boot heel of New Mexico, down in that area. Very active, and of course, black soldiers out of Fort Bayard and out of Fort Seldon were taking care of them, as well as troops out of Fort Bowie, Arizona, which is right across the border, and finally tracked down Geronimo in Arizona, where he was arrested and part of Roosevelt was basically commanded. He commanded a regiment in the cavalry. The cavalry commander there was General Joseph Wheeler, and his command also included Buffalo Soldiers, which, by the way, he was quite proud of, as well as Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders. One of the seminal works, and it's still the one of the primary works, is Buffalo Soldiers by William Leckey. It still holds its own as a great book. There's another one here called Voices of the Buffalo Soldiers by Frank Schubert, who that deals with their own writings. This is their own thoughts, their writings, their diary entries, their letters, their correspondence, what they felt about being in the Army. And by and large, it's very complimentary to Army life. They really enjoyed what they were doing. They were very proud of it. More often than not, they really liked their officers. Their officers really liked them. So it was a very nice account of what it was like to be a black soldier in the Army. This one's called Buffalo Soldier: Story of Manuel Stantz. This is about a particular soldier named Emmanuel Stantz. He was in the 9th Cavalry, and he was I believe he was the first black recipient of the Medal of Honor for some action that he did while he was serving in Texas out of Fort McCavitt. It involved returning some stolen horses and rescuing some settlers and defeating some Indians 3 times on the same patrol. So his leadership went in the Medal of Honor. There's another Buffalo Soldier book, another juvenile book, Buffalo Soldiers, by Sherry Garland, illustrated by Ron Himmler. This is another good one that you might want to think about if those teachers out there who might want to sort of expand their Buffalo Soldier library. Cobblestone magazine. I don't know if Cobblestone is still around, but this one is an issue on Buffalo Soldiers. You can probably find these out on Amazon somewhere, but it's an issue that deals specifically with Buffalo Soldiers, and it's a pretty good issue too. I don't say that just because my picture is in there. Fort to the West. Robert Frazier's book, Fort to the West, is a very good, concise history of military forts out west, including all of the forts in New Mexico. Fighting for Uncle Sam, a good recent history of Buffalo Soldiers. It's a very good book written by John Langelier, who's one of the premier military historians. New Mexico's Buffalo Soldiers by Monroe Billington. This deals with chronicles Buffalo Soldiers in New Mexico, 1866 to 1900.